All right, let's cut through all the noise and talk about one of the biggest buzzwords in tech right now, AI agents. I mean, if you've been following AI at all, your feed is probably just flooded with terms like agentic AI, workflows, and this thing called React. It can feel super technical and, let's be honest, kind of confusing.
So the real question is this: what's the actual difference between the chatbot you use every day and what everyone's calling a true AI agent? We're going to make that crystal clear.
And we're going to break it all down in 3 really simple levels. We'll start with what you already know, the chatbot, then we'll build on that to understand a workflow, and finally, we'll take the leap to the agent itself.
Okay, let's dive right in with level 1. This is the foundation, the stuff we all know and use, the chatbot, powered by a large language model, or LLM.
So how does it work? Well, it's pretty simple, right? You, the user, give it an input, a prompt, and the LLM uses all the data it was trained on to spit out an answer. Input, output. That's the game.
For example, you can totally ask it to write a polite email to schedule a coffee meeting, and it'll do a great job. But what if you ask it when you're actually free for that meeting? It's going to fall flat. It has no idea because it can't see your personal calendar.
And this really points to 2 key things you got to remember. First, their knowledge is limited. They don't know your private stuff or what's happening right now. And second, they're totally passive. They just sit there and wait for you to tell them what to do.
So with that in mind, let's move on to level 2, the workflow. Now this is all about giving the AI a specific recipe to follow.
A workflow is basically just a set of instructions we create. A human sets a very specific path that tells the LLM, hey, don't just answer from your brain, follow these exact steps and use these outside tools.
So let's go back to our calendar problem. What if we build a workflow that says, rule number 1, before you do anything, search my Google Calendar. Then you can answer my question. All of a sudden, when I ask about that coffee meeting, it works.
But, and this is a big but, the path is super rigid. If my very next question is, okay, so what's the weather going to be like that day? It's going to fail. Why? Because the recipe we gave it only said to check the calendar. It has no clue it's supposed to look at a weather app. It can only do exactly what it's told.
And by the way, this whole process helps explain a term you've probably heard thrown around, RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. It sounds complicated, but it's really just a fancy name for a workflow where the AI is told to go look something up before it talks. That's all it is.
Here's a perfect real-world example. Imagine you set up this chain of events. Step 1, it pulls a bunch of news links into a Google Sheet. Step 2, it uses one AI tool to summarize them all, and then Step 3, it hands those summaries to another AI to write social media posts. The human designs the assembly line, and the AI just works its station.
And now for the main event, the final level, level 3, the agent. This is where we make the huge leap from an AI that follows instructions to one that actually starts to think for itself.
And if you remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. The one massive change that turns a workflow into an agent is when the human decision maker is replaced by the LLM itself.
This chart says it all. In a workflow, the human is in the driver's seat, setting the course. With an agent, you give the LLM the destination, and it figures out the best way to get there. It's the difference between being a tool and being a team member.
So how does it do this? Well, that brings us back to that React framework. The RE stands for reason. You give the agent a goal, and the first thing it does is just think. It strategizes. What's the best plan here? What tools do I need?
And the second part? Act. Once it has a plan, it goes out and actually does it. It uses whatever tools it needs, APIs, Google Sheets, you name it, to execute its strategy. It reasons, then it acts.
But here's another thing that's a total game changer. An agent can finish a task, look at its own work, critique it, and then make it better, all by itself. It can go through that loop over and over until the work is good, with zero human involvement.
Okay, let's bring it all home and put the 3 levels side by side. Think of this as your quick and dirty cheat sheet to understanding this whole space. So here's the final breakdown. At level 1 and 2, the human is the decision maker, giving the prompt or defining the path. But at level 3, the agent, the LLM, takes over as the decision maker. It decides its own path. And that's how we go from a passive tool to one that follows instructions, to one that's truly autonomous. When you step back, you see we're in this incredible moment of evolution, from passive assistance to what could become truly autonomous partners. And that leaves us with a huge question to think about. As these agents get better and better, how is that going to change the way we work, create, and even think?